Hey guys, hope you're all doing awesome as always. And in this video, I'm gonna be continuing with the challenge. I think it would be 101 of basic JavaScript. So without further ado, let's get started. So it says that g- generate random fractions with JavaScript. Okay, so random numbers are useful for creating random behavior. Cool. JavaScript has a math random function that generates a random decimal number between 0, which includes, that's what inclusive means, that it includes 0 and not quite up to 1 exclusively. So this means that it excludes 1. Thus, math random can return a 0 but never quite return a 1. Okay. Note, like storing values with the equal operator, all functions, all function calls will be resolved before the return executes. So we can return the value of the random math random function. Okay, so it says that all functions will be resolved before the return executes. Okay, so we can return the value of the math random function. Change random fraction to return a random number instead of returning a 0. Okay, so it's saying that change this function, which is a random fraction, to return a random number instead of returning a 0. So we're gonna use this class here. Okay, so a random in math class, which is a Java built-in function. So say math dot random, yep, and parentheses. All right. So now run your code and let's see if we pass this. Yay, off the charts. Yes, we are. Continue, continue, continue. Excitement is really building up now, isn't it? Anyway, so this challenge is about generate random whole numbers with JavaScript. So instead of just any number, it's a random whole numbers. Which we're gonna generate whole numbers with a random method, I would say. Yeah, which is here. Okay, so it's great that we can generate random decimal numbers, but it's even more useful if we use it to generate random whole numbers. Okay, so first it says they use math random to generate a decimal. All right, multiply the random decimal by 20 and then use another function which is called the math.floor. I mean, if floor is a function in math class to round the number down to the nearest whole number. And it also says remember that math.random can never quite return a 1, and because we are rounding down, it's impossible to actually get 20. This technique will give us a whole number between 0 and 19. So it's now putting everything together. This is what our code looks like. So we're gonna generate a random number here and multiply that by 20 and then give it to the floor method, yeah, the floor method would take this number here. So we are calling math dot random, multiplying the result by 20, the passing, and then passing the value to math dot floor parentheses. Okay, I mean, no, sorry about that. I meant brackets. So function to round the value down to the nearest whole number. Okay, so now it says they use this technique to generate and return a random whole number between 0 and 9. So we have got the math random already. Now we're going to multiply that by 20. So if you want to follow these steps, it's already given us the math or random. So this line is already generating a random decimal number, and then we now multiply that random decimal by 20. Okay, and then use another function math.floor brackets to round the number down to the nearest whole number. So pass in the result of this to the floor method in math class. Oops. Okay, so floor, oops, I did a mistake there. So copy and paste this one into the floor method, and there we go. Perfect. So now we run the test and see how many tests we passed. So we haven't passed the test. You should have multiplied the result of math random by 10 to make it a number. Oh, sorry, my bad. Yep. So because we need to return a random whole number between 0 and 9, then we're gonna use multiply by 10. And remember, it said that the n number, it doesn't count. So if we do 1 to 10, 10 won't be counted. And so that's why we are multiplying 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 by 10. Alright, cool. Let's run the test, and yay! Bodacious. Yes, I don't even know what that means. Anyway, next challenge, bring it on. Okay, cool. So generate random whole numbers with a range now. So we are now generating whole numbers with a range, so within a particular range. Okay, so instead of generating a random number between 0 and a given number like we did before, we can generate a, a random number that falls within a range of two specific numbers. Cool. Which is within a range. Cool. So to do this, we'll define a minimum number min and maximum number max. So these are two variables. Here's the formula we'll use. Take a moment to read it and try to understand what this code is doing. So it passes this no. So it it chooses the random method to create a random decimal number and then multiplies it with max minus minimum plus 1 and then plus minimum min. Alright, so now it says so that means what we're gonna do is this formula here, it does all the work for us already. So um, it's saying us that we need to generate a random number that's in between 5 and 15. So it's already no, so it's already given us a function here, which is my min, my max, and which is returning a 0 at the moment. So we need to change this line, and we need to make sure that random number that is greater than or equal to my min, so greater than or equal to 5 in our case, test case, and less than or equal to my max. So it can be either, so greater than or equal to 5, or less than or equal to 15. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just copy and paste this formula over here, and then change my min, my max variable to the one that I'm using here in these parameters, in this parameter, and then my min to that one as well, and then my min here as well. Alright, and now if we test it, it will go through. Ta-da! On one loop to rule them all. Yes, it's called a smart work, not hard work. Am I right? Alright, let's move to the next challenge. Alright, in this one we use parseInt function. Okay, so I'm presuming that it's gonna convert a given string to integer. Okay, anyway, let's read this first. So the parseInt function parses a string and returns an integer. Okay, see? Yep, I was right. Parses a string and returns an integer. Here's an example for that. So it's assigning a to the integer value of 777. Here the above function converts the string 007 to an integer 7. If the first character in the string can't be converted into a number, then it returns NaN, which is, I'm presuming, not a number. Yeah, probably. Anyway, use parseInt in the convert to integer of functions, so it converts the input string str into an integer and returns it. So we're gonna do it will be as parse parseInt, and then we pass the string that is from the parameter, and then we're done, and returns it. So return as well. Cool, perfect. Run test, and there we go. Even the grumpy cat approves it. Yes, we're so good, guys, isn't it? All right, next one comes up. All right, here's the parseInt function with a radix. I'm not too sure what the radix is. I'm sure that it will tell us when we read further enough what exactly is radix. So let's just let's just continue reading for now. So it says the parseInt function parses a string and returns an integer. It takes a second argument for the radix. Okay, so it takes a second argument for the radix, which specifies the base of the number in the string. The radix can be an integer between 2 and 36. The function call looks like, okay, so the parseInt function has two parameters, a string and radix. Here's an example. So a is set to the string is 11 and radix is 2. So it says that here we go. So now it explains it, the term radix. So the radix variable says that 11 is in the binary system or base 2. So it, it specifies the number, I would say, format, or the numerical system to be used. This example converts the string 11 to an integer 3. Okay, so first of all, if you don't know how was it converted from 11 to an integer 3, I would highly recommend you to learn how to convert into a normal number to binary base 2, which is the binary system, and then you'll know that automatically. I'll also attach a link in the description to give you the link for learning how to convert it. Okay, but that's not in the scope of this video, so I'm gonna actually skip that part of teaching you to the exercise itself. So it says use parseInt and convert to integer, which is this one function. So it converts a binary number to an integer and returns it. Alright, so now we're going to be using the radix function. So we're going to do parseInt, and then we have the string to convert, and then the radix. What would be the radix for integer? I think it's 8 or 10. 8. Let's have a try with 8 first, which represents the octal number. Alright, no. Return. Got to add the return statement and a semicolon as well. Nope. Should return 9. So it can't be 10. 8. Let's try 10. Nope. It's not 10 either. Interesting. Right. So it says that you use this function, so it converts a binary number to an integer. Okay, I see the catch here. So this is a string, but we need to convert it to an integer, but it's a binary format. So I think it would be base 2, which is radix 2, and yes, done. Over the top. Are you proud of yourselves? Yes, I'm pretty sure you are. Alright, next challenge, bring it on. So this one says they use conditional ternary operator. Okay, it's ternary operator. Yep, hang on, we're about to learn about it. So the conditional operator, also called as ternary operator, can be used as one line of if-else expression. Okay, so uh, instead of if-else statements being in multi-line, I mean multi-liners, then it becomes a single line by the use of ternary operator. So the syntax is condition to check and question mark, statement if true and statement if false. So the following function uses an if-else statement to check a condition. Okay, so function find greater and it takes two parameters A and B. If A is less than B, sorry, if A greater than B, return A is greater, else B is greater. So this if and else statement can be done in one line, which is this is a condition. This is what happens if it's true, and this is what happens if it's false. See, so many lines of code just reduced to two or one lines. So convenient, isn't it? So it says use the conditional operator in the check equal, this one, method to check if two numbers are equal or not. The function should return either true or false. Okay, so now we're gonna check if the condition. So it says that if two numbers are equal or not. So equal B, and now we get B, and then the ternary operator, and then the function should return true or false. If it's true, then we return true, else return false. Yep, you guessed it. And don't forget to write the return keyword. Alright, let's check if we pass the test. And we have, there's no spoon. Oh yeah. Go to the next challenge. Okay, so it says that you use multiple conditional ternary operators. Okay, so we can use multiple ones as well. So it says that in the previous challenge you use a single conditional operator. Okay, you can also chain them together to check for multiple conditions. So instead of having the following, let me not skip the sentences here. So the following function uses if else if and else statement to check for multiple conditions. Okay, so the above function can be rewritten using multiple conditional operators. So this is the function taking two parameters, return A is equal to B. If it's that, then this are equal, A and B are equal, and then if R shows using multiple ones, right. So return if A and B are equal, then do A and B are equal, else check for an other condition, and then output this straight away. Is greater, else B is greater. Okay, cool. So now it says use multiple conditional operator in the check sign function to check if one number is positive, negative, or 0. So we use num is greater than 0. Oops, 0. Okay. The number is, if a number is positive, okay, greater than or equal to 0, then what do we want to do to the number? I mean, what do we want to do if this condition is true? We want to type in the number is positive. Okay, and then else if, right, the number is negative, number is less than 0. What do we want to do now? The number is negative. Perfect. And then another else, and then if number is 0, and then what do we want to do? If it is, just output it to the console that the number is 0. Yes, there we go. Perfect. Now don't forget to type in the semicolon. Oops, I messed up somewhere. Let's check where. Oh, unexpected token. Right. I must have done it in the wrong way. So I'm not returning the number. Okay. Uh, oh, what did I do here? Brackets are important. Brackets are important, very important. Lesson learned. Right. Now number 3. Unexpected. So where did I go wrong? Okay, I'm not supposed to enter this condition here. Right. Yep, let's try it. If it passes now, check sign should return positive. Oh, alright, my bad. The output has to be really specific. Okay, negative, and 0. Okay, yep. And then run the test now. No, 0. Should return 0. Note that capitalization matters. Okay. Should return 0 again. What did I do now? Right, so I think the catch might have been that it says that if a number is positive, alright, so 0 is positive but it's 0 as well. So if we remove the equal, because we have got a separate test case to check and print the specific thing when it's equal to 0, then it should work. Because here, if we put equal, then it will return positive, but we want it to return 0 if it equals 0. Alright, let's check if this works. Yay, power up! Oh, give me some Red Bull. I am on the fly. I bet we both you and me both coding. Alright, let's go to the next one. Interesting. So the JavaScript section has finished, and I hope you guys found this JavaScript section really helpful. And if you're stuck on any kind of challenges, I hope that my video really helped you. So now we're gonna continue to the ES6 challenges. Interesting. So without further ado, let's get started. It says ECMAScript is a standardized version of a JavaScript with a goal of unifying the languages, specifications, and features. Alright, so it's a ECMAScript is a standard version of JavaScript with the goal of unifying the languages, specifications, and features. As all major browsers as all major browsers and JavaScript runtimes follow this specification, the term ECMA is interchangeable with the term JavaScript. Okay, so most of the challenges on free code can use ECMAScript 5, which is the full version of ES5, and ECMAScript can be abbreviated as ES5 as well. So ES5 specification of the language finalized in 2009, but JavaScript is an evolving programming language as features are added and revisions are made. New versions of language are released for use by developers. The most recent standardized version is called ECMAScript 6. Okay, this is the latest one, which was released in 2015. This new version of uh, language adds more powerful features that will be covered in this section of challenges, including arrow functions, classes, modules, promises, promises, generators, let, and const. Okay, so I think I'm gonna leave it to this, and yeah, from the next video I'm gonna dive in the first lesson of ES6, which is ECMAScript 6, but it gives one particularly information that not all browsers support ES6 features. If you use ES6 in your own projects, you may need to use a program transpiler to convert your ES6 code into ES5 until the browser supports ES6. Alright, so hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any comments, suggestions on how to improve the videos, or any kind of questions related to what I've done in this video, please comment, and I will see you in the next video. Until then, have fun coding, coders.